I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard.
She was quiet.
Yeah.
Didn't really notice her.
Nah.
Not shy exactly,
Yeah. No. Not shy.
but not loud either.
Yeah. Not loud.
The sort of person, like if someone at school said, "You know Grace?" They'd say, "Who's Grace?"
Yeah. Who's Grace?
And they'd say, "Grace Fremantle."
Grace Fremantle.
And you'd say, "Who's Grace Fremantle?"
Exactly.
And they'd say, "She's the one in 11F."
Yeah. The one there over there.
And you'd say, "Oh, the one with the hair and the glasses." And they'd say, "No, that's Miriam."
Yeah. That's Miriam.
And then after a few tries, you get it.
Yeah.
You know, you'd remember who she was. You know the sort, not that good looking,
Yeah.
but not bad looking though.
No.
Not clever like clever.
No.
You know, not in the top sets or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
But not the bottom sets either.
No.
Not a joker
No.
or a troublemaker or a loner.
Yeah. No.
She had friends.
Yeah. She had friends.
They weren't popular.
Unpopular.
No, not unpopular.
No. Yeah. No, yeah. Not unpopular.
Grace was just kind of, you know, there's American kids that just go into high schools and shoot everyone dead. And the teachers go, "No big surprise. He hasn't spoken for 2 years. And he's been wearing the same black sweatshirt for 11 months. And his chemistry book is full of drawings of guns." Well, Grace wasn't like that.
Yeah. She wasn't like that.
She was average.
Yeah. Average.
Grace Fremantle was totally average.
Totally average.
I am Grace Fremantle. I was totally average.
My dad's friends with Grace's dad, Paul. My dad always says that Paul's a good bloke. Last year, Paul posted this video of Grace of when she was little having a tantrum.
I'm 5 years old. I'm wearing my Little Miss Sunshine t-shirt. Dad's playing with his new phone. We're supposed to be going to the park. I ask him. He says he's busy. But he promised before he promised. That's not fair.
It's a funny video, I can't deny that. Grace is on the floor screaming, little hands and legs all over the place.
I'm fire and fury inside.
And then she gets up and she falls on her Lego. And if you've ever fallen on Lego, then you'll know that it hurts like hell. And Grace's dad, Paul, films it all on his new phone, giggling away. Not in a horrible way. Just, you know, like a dad way.
I'm red and blood and pus inside.
Grace's mum, Jen, comes to see what's going on. She tries to reason with Grace, but there's no point. Jen tries to cuddle Grace, and then Grace kicks her. And then Paul says,
"Your behaviour is completely inappropriate for a young lady."
And Grace roars in his face. Like, properly roars. Like, actually roars. And then she's sent to her room to think about what she's done. And then Jen turns to Paul and said,
What did we do to deserve her?
And then they burst out laughing, and then the video stops. Paul found the video last year and decided to post it on Facebook with the title Epic Disgrace, which is kind of funny and clever because it's a pun on her name, you know, Grace, Disgrace, Epic Disgrace. Also, you know, a bit crap of him.
Miss Sunshine. Lord.
I miss those days.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I made you a big.
Give me that over a teenager any day.
FYI, I'm not saying that Paul, Grace's dad, posting that video has anything to do with what happened. I mean, it probably didn't. It's just, I wouldn't like it if my dad did that. And it wasn't a very responsible adult, grown-up thing to do.
It feels so nice to know I'm gonna be alright.
It's December, cold, evening, 8 o'clock. My dad's still at work. Mum just got back from a shift and is eating a sandwich with some chutney she found at the back of the cupboard. I'm in my bedroom, staring at my GCSE revision timetable. It's colour-coded and covered in fluorescent post-its that Dad nicked from work. My parents are big on working hard and revision and me being the best possible version of myself. My GCSE timetable is a work of art. Mum takes a bite of the sandwich and shouts up the stairs.
Grace, are you revising?
I like the way the pink and the yellow post-its look next to each other.
Grace, did you hear me?
They remind me of sweets.
Grace.
Like rhubarb and custards.
I hope you're revising, Grace.
Like rhubarb and custards I had when we went to the beach when I was 7.
It's maths and physics tonight,
We
isn't
walked
it?
along the beach and found shells, and Dad ran into the sea with his pants on, and I had a 99 ice cream, and Mum ruffled my hair and stuck a bite of my flake. But I didn't mind because the sun was shining and the sea was wavy.
Grace, I'm not going to nag you. Remember, it's your future.
And that's when I felt it first. In my belly I feel...
Remember, it's your future.
Present.
Your future.
A gnawing. Squirming. It's small. Like a cherry pit. Or a baby shrimp. It's really small. Whatever it is. But it's here. It's definitely here.
Keep on looking. You keep on
Grace Fremantle. More like Grace Fremantle. Grace Fremantle. You get it? Do you get it?
I've known Grace forever. Met her on my first day at primary. We were best friends. We are best friends. Well, I don't know, it's hard to... I love primary. We all love primary. Every Thursday, our teacher, Mrs. Drake, would take the whole class onto the school field. She would ask us to look up at the sky. And she would tell us about cumulus clouds, stratus clouds, nimbus clouds. Then she'd ask us to close our eyes and listen to the music of the winds in the trees. Then she'd ask us to lie on our stomachs and feel the heat of the earth on our skin. And she'd ask us to look at the grass and count all the different things we could find. And then she said, "Isn't the world a wonderful place?" We all nodded, bellies on the hot soil. On one Thursday, I counted 17 things in the grass, and Grace counted 17 things too. And then we both saw an iridescent bug with bright green wings. It was beautiful. I miss being 7. I miss counting interesting things in the grass.
Keep on looking. You keep on searching.
I'm in the library. I'm reading a book about... I don't know what it's about, because I'm not reading it really. It's for English, and it's boring, and I'd rather be reading my own books than the book someone else tells me to read. I flick through Insta on my phone.
A young woman stands in a bikini on a beach.
My insides feel hot.
She is tired.
I feel...
She is
My
tired.
stomach feels wormy. Like the night before an exam.
Her body is slim and curvy.
Or when your friends don't respond to your posts.
The orange sun makes her
Or when a
glow.
teacher says, "Can I speak to you after class?"
Her hair is windswept and natural.
Pulsing in my body. I can feel it pulsing in my body. Pulse. Pulse. I'm not pregnant, if that's what you think. I've never had sex, never been near any sperm. And there's not another Jesus, just to be clear. I don't know what it is, but it's not that.
Grace Fremantle, she was very, how to say it without, she was sort of, well, let's just say there are some kids that when it comes around to parents' evening and the parents are in front of you and they say, "We're Grace's parents," you have to think for a moment about who that child is. Grace was just that type. She was, well, let's just say she wasn't an attention seeker. She just got on with things. You would never have thought it was impossible to predict. She was okay. What I'm trying to say is she seemed okay.
There's a special school assembly with a special guest. The special guest is a famous barrister who went to a private school across town that has its own theatre and cricket pitch and ancient oak trees. Our school doesn't have its own theatre or cricket pitch or ancient oak trees. Our school has one between books and teachers who go off sick. The barrister is very passionate.
I want you to look around you. I want you to look to your left, now to your right.
My womb
Welcome
contracts.
to your competition. You will sit your GCSEs together.
My womb
Sit your
judges.
A-levels at the same time, and you will apply for university together. What I want to know is, what are you going to do to stand out from everyone else here?
It expands in
You
my
are at
womb.
a crucial point in your lives.
It
Every
expands.
decision you make will now impact on your future.
It grows to a size of a chestnut.
Let's get real here. Do you want to own your own house? Well, how are you going to get it?
It's not painful, but not painful either. It feels
How
sort of
how are you going to manage that? Because houses are expensive.
unknowable.
You should be thinking about the things you want to do in the future now. What is your plan?
Like the worst is yet to come.
What is your 5-year plan?
Or the best is yet to come.
You are in charge of your destiny.
It grows to a size of a mouse.
Work and determination.
It grows to a size of a hamster.
You can make your dreams come true.
It's the size of a newborn puppy.
You can make it happen.
A small one.
The hard work starts now.
A Jack Russell maybe?
The competition is starting next week.
Or a West Highland Terrier.
Welcome to the real world.
Yes, like a West Highland Terrier puppy scrabbling around inside me.
My memory of Grace Fremantle before that day in PE, before it all happened, is kind of hazy. I mean, we were in the same classes and nothing much really. Oh, actually, no, that wasn't her. Okay, I remember something. There was this one time, right, where me and Milo were in the school toilets, because that's where we hang out at break. And my mate Ali was looking at her phone laughing. And I was like, what's that? And she handed me the phone. And it was a video of Janice Levy running a 100-meter sprint for the Borough Championships. Just for a bit of context then that. Janice Levy was the fastest runner in our school. She was like superhuman. She broke the school records all the time. She was in the local newspaper, and some famous coach from Manchester came in to see her especially. There was even some talk about the next Olympics. Anyways, back to the video. So, Janice Levy is running this 100-meter sprint really fast. Obviously. And it's quite clear that Janice isn't wearing a sports bra. She's wearing a normal one, and her boobs are really big, and they're bouncing, and because she's running really fast and because her boobs are so big, they're flying all over the place. And someone titled it that didn't say Superhuman Woman slays all competition in borough championships. Instead they're written fastest tits in the borough. My lot are falling around hysterically as though it's the funniest thing they've seen. But I didn't find it funny. So I kind of just half laugh. But yeah. Because I didn't want to seem... Anyways, Grace walks in and Ali passes her the phone. She doesn't say anything, but she doesn't laugh either. She just goes into the cubicle. Anyway, so I told my tutor, because I thought an adult should know what was going on. I don't think she did much. Anyways. But yeah. Sorry. That was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? And it was more of a Janice Levy story than a Grace story. But yeah, that's my Grace story. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
When it's asleep, it throbs in time with my heartbeat. It's like we're one thing. I know we're not one thing. It plays around. Sometimes I think it has feathers. Sometimes I think it has fur. Sometimes spikes like a porcupine. It wrestles and tumbles inside my body. I can feel its spine up against my kidneys.
Sometimes a certain smell will take me back to when I was young. How come
At least 15 people, including a child, have drowned off the Greek island of Lesbos.
Some bare boring news is on. Grace looks up at it.
25
It scuttles
refugees
down from my
sank after
belly,
setting sail
across
from
my
Turkey
pelvis
late
and
on
into my
Sunday.
thigh.
8 bodies have been retrieved in
The sound
Greek
is off.
territory and 7 more
Actually,
in
the
Turkish
sound probably doesn't
waters.
even work. Stormzy blares out at a million decibels, making the music look like the most boringest music video ever.
Count all my blessings, but heavy is the head that wears.
Its body quivers in my thigh.
Amen in Jesus' name, yes I declare it.
Mum met the dickhead through her mate Sally, but she dumped him because he was high maintenance. I don't like him because he's cold to me when Mum's out the room and a bit nasty to her when she doesn't do what he wants.
It pushes his tiny skull up against my kneecap.
I tried to say something to my mum like, hello, look at the warning signs, but then she goes and says, don't you want me to be happy? And there's obviously nothing you can say to that. She then gives me 10 quid to go and get dinner as a treat. So here we are, waiting. Grace is still looking up at the TV, which is like really annoying because I'm the one paying for the pizza and I really want to slag my mum off and talk about the dickhead fiance. I say to Grace, what are you doing next year?
It taps at my kneecap. It pushes his tiny skull up against my kneecap.
Grace!
My leg violently jerks and hits the underneath of the table.
And you'll never believe what she does next. She gets up and leaves. She leaves me in pizza town without even a goodbye. And I'm like, are you serious? You actually serious? Who does that? She wasn't even my first choice to get pizza with anyways. I just asked her because everyone else was busy.
I crouch behind the bins out the back. I take a deep breath and I look at my leg. Just above my knee, it's straining against my skin. I can see the outline of its face. There is a beak. It has a beak.
My mum went ahead and married that dickhead.
It has a beak and it's straining against my skin.
We are in geography.
It's proper boring.
The teacher, Miss Jarvis, is scary.
In it, the way her eyes bulge out of her head when she's annoyed.
It's asleep. It's cold on my heart.
Miss Jarvis is going on about carbon emissions.
Miss Jarvis is always going on about carbon emissions.
Miss Jarvis really hates carbon emissions.
It's important to understand that the Earth's climate is changing at an unprecedented speed.
It wakes up. It wants something.
We can see this in more frequent and severe floods, droughts, and storms.
I don't know what it wants.
I get my phone out and show the others this bag my mum's going to get me for my birthday. I pass my phone to Grace under the table, obs.
We can see this in species extinction.
Grace looks at the phone.
Like the vaquita, the world's rarest marine mammal.
Grace stares at the phone for ages.
The vaquita will be extinct in the next 5 years.
And Miss Jarvis puts up a picture of the sea fish thing she's going on about. It's pretty cute, like a fat baby dolphin.
It scuttles along the length of my torso.
This small porpoise was only discovered in 1958. And here we are, 60 years later, about to lose them forever.
I want my phone back.
Climate change is a catastrophe in waiting for all of us.
Its body bristles.
And the consequences for humans can already be seen.
It starts climbing up my ribcage.
Around the world, we see war and starvation.
It pulls itself up inside my ribcage. I think it has teeth.
Around the world, we see desertification and forced migration.
There is a noise.
I need my phone back off Grace, because if Miss Jarvis sees it, she'll go mad.
There is a noise from inside me.
We have just 12 years to do something about it before catastrophe is inevitable.
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
I can hear the noise inside me.
Then Grace leans right over the desk and holds her stomach.
12 years for global leaders to take action.
What's up, Grace?
And my question to you is...
It's making this noise like...
What can we do about it?
Grace, are you alright?
Does anyone have any idea?
I pull my jumper around me so that no one else can hear.
Grace?
I don't know how to stop it from...
And then Grace does a very un-Grace thing.
I can't make it. To stop it
Can't let them hear.
Very un-Grace. Grace, are you alright?
Grace?
What's up, Grace?
Looking for the answers I can't find.
And then Taylor, who's sitting behind us, hears and joins in.
I have my reasons and life
Because
has
Taylor's
its
always
lessons
in.
and try to be grateful and count all my blessings, but heavy is the head that wears the crown.
And it's proper funny seeing Miss Jarvis's eyes popping out all over the place.
Why are you?
I'm warning you.
And me.
Stop it.
I'm warning you.
Stop this right
Until
now.
everyone is.
Stop it.
I said stop. Stop it.
And that's when I realise the it wants to be heard.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You wouldn't believe what happened in geography. Grace Fremantle started singing.
Hisses and spits and growls.
Grace?
Yeah.
Grace Fremantle?
Yeah.
When I speak, it cracks through all my words.
Grace Fremantle in 11F?
Yeah.
I stop speaking.
Oh my God.
Me and Grace just got each other. Right from the start. That first day that we met in year 1, she's really nice. Was really nice. Is really. She always made me feel like it's okay to be me. And a lot of the times I feel horrible being me. I hate my body.
I keep my mouth shut.
And when I look around me, I see loads of other people hating their bodies too, and their bodies look just fine to me.
I keep my mouth shut.
After school, we'd always go to Grace's house because her parents were at work, and we'd make macaroni cheese, which was our thing. We loved macaroni cheese.
I keep my mouth shut.
But then she just kind of disappeared. Not literally, she was still around, but she wasn't, if you know what I mean. She stopped communicating.
I keep my mouth shut.
She started staying after school in the library and getting the bus home when everyone was long gone.
I keep my mouth shut.
She stopped asking me to come over to her house. She stopped texting, Snapchatting, WhatsApping, Insta-ing, all of it, everything finished.
I keep my mouth shut.
I missed her.
I keep my mouth shut.
I still miss her.
I keep my mouth shut.
One day at school, I say to her, "Do you want to walk home together today?"
I keep my mouth shut.
We can walk home and then go to yours to make macaroni cheese.
I keep my mouth shut.
We can just hang out.
I keep my mouth shut.
And I take a big breath and ask her what I've been wanting to ask her for weeks, but I'm worried in case the answer comes back, and it breaks my heart.
I keep my mouth shut.
Grace, don't you like me anymore?
I keep my mouth shut.
She doesn't say anything.
I keep my mouth shut.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
I'm at home. I'm standing at the kitchen sink getting a drink of water. The ear is resting. It occasionally rolls over and stretches along my abdomen. My mom comes in and puts on the radio to listen to the
The
news.
latest victim of knife crime has been named as a 14-year-old David Sanderson.
The ear tenses.
Witnesses say David Sanderson was seen running from a group of 3 or 4 other youths.
I don't know why, but I go straight up to where the radio is.
It is thought that David Sanderson ran into a local shop for help.
I turn up the radio. A local mother comes on.
We're scared for our children.
There's a sharp pain in my hand.
We're scared when our children go to school.
There's a tiny cut in my hand.
We're scared when our children are out of sight.
There is blood in the palm of my hand.
We need someone to do something.
There is something sticking out of the palm of my hand.
He was 14. Just a kid.
It looks like a thorn from a rose, but it's bright blue.
That poor boy, lying in his own blood.
It's a claw.
Why is no one doing anything?
There's a claw sticking out from the palm of my hand.
Why does no one care?
I tried to push the claw back in with my fingertips.
That boy, terrified, screaming, knowing that he's going to die.
It won't go back in.
Screaming for his mom.
I go to the bathroom, I close the door, and I take off my shoes.
5th teenage boy to be killed around here.
I hit the palm of my hand with the shoe like a hammer.
And no one in charge seems to give a toss.
The claw resists.
That poor boy.
The claw resists.
That poor boy.
I wrap gaffer tape around my hand.
When I was stressed out.
Remember those history lessons we had about the Middle East?
Yeah, boring.
With Mr. Logan?
Yeah, dickhead.
Remember that test?
Yeah, easy.
When I was sitting next to Grace Fremantle?
Yeah, free mental.
That's not nice.
True though.
Grace didn't answer one question in that test. She just sat there staring at her paper. She didn't even pick up her pen.
Maybe it was hard to pick up a pen with them woolly gloves on. A joke.
That's not funny. I don't think you should be making jokes about her. I don't think we should be making jokes about her. It's just, I wouldn't like if that happened to me and then everyone...
Okay, good.
Remember that photo of the little boy in Syria who was bombed? When Grace saw that photo,
The pain,
she started to shake.
pain inside me is unbearable.
The whole desk was moving. Her whole body was shaking. I tried to ask her if she was all right, but she didn't say anything. I tried to get Mr. Logan's attention, but she looked at me in this way like, I don't know, like I shouldn't. I should have told Mr. Logan. Maybe if I'd told him, then that thing in PE wouldn't have happened. Maybe. It was obvious something was going on with her. She was in trouble and I didn't do anything. I should have done something.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. No. I don't know. Maybe.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.
I can't stop watching the news, I can't stop reading the news, I can't stop listening to the news. I don't want to. I close my eyes, I cover my ears. I don't want to know. It crawls up through my chest. Its funky head reaches my throat.
We would build a rocket ship and then we fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the face, saying, "Wake
It wriggles
up,
up.
you need to make money." Yeah. We used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly it far away. Used to dream of outer space, but now they're laughing at the
Its
face,
beak
saying,
opens like a baby bird, wanting to be fed.
"We could turn back time."
What is next?
Sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
I go back down until it falls back down my throat.
When the mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out.
Used to play pretend, bunny. We used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Pulsing and vibrating back down into the pit of my stomach. Used to play pretend, wake up, you need the money. Used to play pretend, give each other different names. We would build a rocket ship and then we fly far away. Used to dream of outer space, but over my mouth. Out the face saying, wake up, you need to make money. Yeah.
I cover my face.
Grace, man, Grace.
Yeah, man, Grace.
With the
balaclava.
No, that's a pastry thing. No, that's a Greek Arabic pastry thing.
No, that's balaclava.
No, that's definitely. Oh yeah, you're right. So one day, Grace comes to school wearing this
balaclava,
and it wasn't winter or nothing.
They all take the piss. I don't give a shit.
I don't know how she got away with it. They put him in isolation when I wore my trainers for 2 days in a row, and I had a proper reason. My school shoes were getting fixed.
Yeah, I remember.
Just because I didn't have a note.
Yeah, I remember.
It was an extreme reaction.
Yes, I remember.
At break time, I go to the toilet. I take off my clothes. I watch the it move around inside my body, bumping and poking and pushing at my skin. It has grown so big. Long, low growl rumbles through my blood.
And then Grace Fremantle comes in wearing her
balaclava.
And she's allowed to run really willy-nilly wearing her
balaclava.
Happy as Larry in her balaclava.
Yeah, happy as Larry in her balaclava.
What is next?
Rich people hunt giraffes and tigers and lions and rhinos. Rich people follow the animals in jeeps. They stalk them and watch them, and raise their guns as the giraffes and tigers and lions and rhinos stop for a drink in the burning sun. Bang! Bang! Bang!
Where do we go? Come here.
I fall asleep on my bedroom floor.
The women, children, and men are not wanted in the camps of Cali, Kos, and Bangladesh.
My dreams are infiltrated.
The way I'm drinking you down, like I wanna drown, like I wanna end me. Step on the glass, staple your tongue.
I wake up.
These people used to live in peace with grandparents and friends and neighbours.
I have a terrible pain just below my belly button.
They used to sip tea and break bread with smiles and love. They used to bicker about parking spaces and the music that next door played at 3 a.m. They dream of home. They dream of grandma eating her breakfast in the pink light of the morning. They dream of banging on the wall at 3 a.m. and shouting at their neighbour to turn his music down.
There's a trickle of blood.
There are women and children and men in a different type of camp in the south of France. In the morning they wake up and have croissants and jam and coffee. They yawn and stretch their legs into the glimmering sun.
In the park, I'll be calm and collected. But we knew right from the start that you'd fall apart, cause I'm too expensive. Your talk would be something that shouldn't be said out loud.
It was after school. I'd been at science revision. I had left my wallet in the lab, so I was running back to get it when I saw Grace in an empty classroom. She was there all on her own, sitting very still, very upright, very neat. She was staring into space.
Eyes won't close and I can't say no. I can't say no.
Careful. Is everything okay, Grace?
Bury a friend, try to wake up.
Grace, are you okay?
Bury a friend. I wanna end.
She doesn't look at me. Grace?
Yes.
Something flickers in her eyes.
The it is flexing its wings,
I think she's going to say something.
stretching its legs.
I touch her
Its
shoulder.
fur or feathers.
She
Its
flinches.
wings.
She gets up.
All its muscles.
I reach for
I
her
can
arm.
feel its strength.
Grace,
I
tell me
can
what's
feel
happening.
its power.
She shrugs me off.
It is preparing.
I grab hold of her blazer. Grace!
It's nearly ready.
And she pushes me so hard that I fall on the floor. I hit my head. It's bleeding.
I'm scared.
Then she turns and quickly walks away.
I am so scared.
And that was the last time I ever saw her.
We were concerned about Grace. We were definitely concerned. I remember her name came up more than once at our year group meetings. She started wearing strange clothes. But her parents emailed and said it was something about a condition, about feeling very cold.
The inside of me is heating up. I can barely breathe. I can barely move.
At least, I thought it was her parents. Maybe I should have been more. As a head of year, I should have... We, as a school, should have been more.
I wear a layer of clothes under my school uniform and an old puffer jacket over the top.
What you have to remember is we're not the parents. If her parents don't even know what's going on with their own daughter, then how am I supposed to?
It cannot get out. I can't let it get out.
Not that I'm blaming her parents. I've met them. They're great. Devastated about... You know, they feel awful. What I'm saying is that they didn't even know. So if they didn't even know, well, how was anyone else supposed to?
Grace. Yes. Grace. In PE. Weird. 100% weird.
We are in PE. It's hot. We've got a supply teacher and she wants us to run 100 meters. And someone shouts,
That's against our human rights.
which is fun. But the supply teacher doesn't think so and tries to find out who said it. But yeah, good luck with that. Everyone is in shorts and t-shirts apart from Grace Fremantle, who's dressed up in all her gear. Say no more.
Pulse.
We line up the first race. Grace Fremantle is on the other side of me.
Pulse.
The supply teacher woman blows her whistle and we all set off. No one can be asked. The lack of effort pisses the supply teacher off and she shouts,
You're supposed to be competing!
It freezes.
Whoever's last gets a detention.
I'm pretty sure she can't enforce that, but anyways, it makes us run a lot faster.
It darts its head.
Then someone shouts something about Janice Levy, and we all start laughing.
It clenches its jaw.
I finish the race to turn back and see if I'm lost. I'm not. Grace is standing dead still in her lane. The teacher lines up the next race to go.
What I want to know is, what are you going to do?
It opens its beak and bares its teeth. It plunges and heaves and dives inside me.
The supply teacher marches up to Grace and is all... Grace doesn't even look at her.
It's your future.
It whirls in a fever of blistering heat around my organs.
The supply teacher is shouting her head off, and Grace is standing still as a statue.
It twists my liver.
Grace, are you rising?
My kidneys. It claws at my lungs.
Eventually, the supply teacher stops back up to the starting line.
It starts to shred my muscles.
Grace stays where she is.
You know when you see a dog digging? It's doing that to the soft flesh inside me.
How is my spine? The teacher starts the next race, and the runners point at Grace, and she motions a vision.
I'm filling up with blood.
Grace's lane is a bit worried about the human obstacle, and Sesame to the supply teacher looks like she's going to explode at any moment, who suddenly shouts,
Just effing run!
And instead of cracking up with laughter or saying they're going to report her to the head teacher, everyone starts to effing run.
Rich people hunt giraffes and tigers and lions and rhinos.
Everybody is laughing.
It burrows its face up through my throat. It forces its mouth open.
We are literally rolling around on the floor.
Forces my mouth open.
It is so funny.
And I go down.
And suddenly there's this noise, like someone is being murdered. All our eyes swivel to where she's looking, and it's Grace.
Its head rounds my teeth.
Your behaviour is completely inappropriate for a young lady.
Grace is standing in exactly the same position.
It wrestles itself out of me. It's slick and wet, covered in blood and pus.
Her head is tilted back.
It uses my windpipe as a launch. It launches
Her
itself
face
into the
looks
sky.
at the sky.
Its enormous wings from velvet air, with blast in yellow and clash. They're bright green and iridescent. Flakes of fire spin off its scaly body like a catherine wheel. It stings of fire and demons and rupture and storm. The sky is filled with red and orange and clots and guts. The world heats up. The adults are in charge. Run for safety. It's all their fault. The it is coming for them. The it blinks its bright yellow eyes. Earth shudders. It opens its beak, full of howl. It cuts out the sunlight. We descend into darkness for the fury and brilliance and fever and magnificence. It stops the world with a
I mean, I don't know what happened, and no one else really knows what happened, not even Sam does. They all have their theories though, don't they? Boy trouble, girl trouble, friend trouble, parent trouble, eating disorders, drugs, exam pressure. I don't join in. When they're all talking and giggling and gossiping in whispers, I don't say one word. Why? Because when they all saw Grace Fremantle lose her shit on that pea field that day, when they all saw her open her mouth and scream and scream and scream up at the sky, I saw something different. I saw it crawl out of her mouth and open its wings and cover the sky. I saw it shower flames of gold and yellow and rust all over us. I saw it open its beak and roar. I saw what was inside of her. The blood, the anger, and the gore. I saw it. Because it's inside of me too. I can feel it. It's a presence. It's a gnawing, a squirming, and it's small, like a cherry pip or a baby shrimp. But whatever it is, it's here. It's definitely here.
I'm in the snake, I'm in the apple, and from the garden there's whispers and laughter. Why did we end up stuck on the outside? Where there's so many evil motherfuckers, but no place to hide. Let's not lose our heads, let's not lose our heads. No matter what happens now, let's not lose our heads. Hey, hey! A new commandment, a country's creed. For every weird hour it lives having drag cleaners. If you got money, honey, laws don't apply. I want my mama, holy shit, these are terrifying times. Let's not lose our minds. Let's not lose our minds. No matter what happens now, let's not lose our minds. Crumbling empire, like being seasick on board a ship that is sinking and crashes into another sinking ship, and they burst into flames. But the band don't care, they just play faster songs with shorter names. Let's not lose our heads. 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 Let's not lose our heads.